Hello. Hello. Let me just get my incense lit. I got a lot. I got a lot to cover here. So hopefully I start to see everybody come through the chat. I'm going to just give it a minute or so while I get myself situated here. Because I know once I start talking, that's when everybody comes in, and I hate to repeat myself. And I do see the likes popping up, but it still says 0 people here. So if you are out there, give me a, hi, I'm here. Hi, Granny Paula. Okay. It's working. Hi, Dustin. Oh, good. Yay. I'm going to put it out there into the ethers that some of my moderators come on here soon so that we have, it's so strange because it's only showing there's one person here, but it doesn't matter. Some of my favorite people are already on, and I just love you guys. I have been on a journey. And it really, I came out of that fog just a couple hours ago when I decided to go live. Even when I woke up this morning, I felt different. I felt better, but my eyesight was still blurry, and I was receiving a lot of messages. But in hindsight, I do think that the last 2 videos, the videos I did post this week, are relevant to the journey for the collective. But in hindsight, I realize and recognize that my personal journey had been deeply impacted by this new moon energy, the new moon in Leo, and when the sun met up with Leo, sun moved into Leo. And I'm going to just tell you why, just briefly, for anybody that does know your chart. And you don't have to know your chart, but maybe you're having these experiences, because it's still interesting that Mars is still working with the South Node, our past patterns, our past habits, our past lives, even past people, all of those things. When I came out of my experiences this week, which were very impactful, extremely grateful for the people that I met up with this week, the readings that I did for people this week. There has been a lot of awakenings. I can attest to that. I can confirm that by doing one-on-one sessions with people. And that just really brings me so much joy and fulfillment to be able to walk alongside somebody who is finally coming out of their own amnesia. Holy cow, it's been a rough week. Yeah. So in retrospect, because I love the Leo energy, my natal moon is in Leo of 10 degrees. On my natal South Node. That was the thing I was missing. So every year, it seems like, at least the last couple of years, every year at this time, when the sun moves into Leo and we have our Leo new moon, I get hit so hard with inner child wounding. Hi, Amy. So glad you guys are all here. I get hit so hard with deep inner child rage and wounding, and that is because my moon is on my South Node, and that is opposing my North Node. So I got the 10th and 4th house home, and work, opposing each other. Hi, everybody. I know I've been on a lot of journeys this summer. It seems as though when I had time to myself, I really needed it, but now I really do. I miss you guys. I miss doing these lives so much, and I'm so glad that I kind of came out of my own bubble because it was a powerful and insightful experiences. But oh my God, meeting up with that part of me that had been abandoned, that had such deep abandonment wounds, and that was angry, that kind of came out of nowhere. And then looking at the circumstances that provoked this were the same circumstances in the last, I don't know. I haven't been keeping track, but I have gone back in my photos, and I highly suggest all of you do the same because everything is cyclical, right? If you have strong placements like your sun or your moon, and I also want to say that for the collective during this, I knew Pluto was being squared, and I looked up, and I'm pretty sure it was Chiron that was in a square with Pluto, and so anytime Pluto is being challenged in a square formation by another planet or asteroid, we have to go back in time over skipped steps, things we have not fully seen within ourselves or realized and recognized. This is our opportunity for transformation. All of the signs that I was getting this week of this is a transformation. You're going through a transformation. I can't even tell you, like the butterflies. I had this big giant beetle on my deck the other day. When I looked up the spiritual meaning, it was like transformation. So I get it. I think most of us were going through our own some kind of transformation, but for me, to have my natal moon and my south node on this new moon was just wow, really deep. And I was like, I've been here before. All of my patterns that rise up that I want to escape. I don't like this feeling. I don't know what this is telling me. My inner child, they were full force. Hi, Emma. Hi, everybody. By the way, thank you all for being part of the chat. It's so important. Yeah, the escapism was so strong. And I saw all of it: food, drink, scrolling, just what, like getting out in nature, spiritual bypassing, all of it, and none of it was satisfying. And I knew that's when the rage comes out, right? You're like, this usually works and it's backfiring on me. No, it doesn't. It's because of that Pluto. It's because Pluto is squaring Chiron, our wounds, our core wounds, and saying you missed something. You skipped over the step. Let's look at it again. Let's dissect it. Let's go deep. Pluto goes deep into the inner self. And when we resist, when we fight it, when we try to escape it, and it doesn't work out, watch out. That's when the inner beast comes out. And I had my own righteous rage arise a few nights ago. And I find it so perfectly that I know that I, or my higher self, set this all up for me, because everywhere I have two different family units that are out of town. They're not around. I'm in charge of their homes and their pets and all of these things. And it happens every single year. And that was just my inner wounded child, like feeling abandoned. It's so silly because on the outside world, it's really simple. And I love my family and I love their pets, and it's not a big deal. It was just bringing my inner child who just wanted to play, just wanted to be innocent and fun and have fun. And there was nobody around to have fun with. There was nobody around to play. And I was like, that's fine. I'll play with myself. It was not hi, Lisa. It was not working out for me at all, and so I had to sit with myself for a while. Let me see what you guys are all saying. Lots of integration, says Amy. Yes, escapism, says Paula. Yeah, doesn't feel the same. Our coping strategies, the things that we try to, especially when it's really when Pluto's in that strong formation, a square aspect to any other planet, that is like you can't escape it. You can try, you can run, you can hide, but you're taking yourself with you. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Dustin. Getting all these compliments I receive. That's another thing. I noticed that I've been receiving, people have been giving me a lot of compliments, and that's something else. My wounded inner child is like, thank you, polite, but like to actually receive, right? Can I actually receive that? So I've been very mindfully receiving the words and the compliments that come to me, and not feeling like there's an ulterior motive. Somebody wants something from me. All those old patterns, those old things, right? Granny Paula, but it's been too hot here to get out. It really has been. It's the heat. Paula uses the word oppressive. It is the heat and humidity level here where we are is just unbearable. It is ridiculous. And that is just like bringing out the angry bees. I've got angry bees in my backyard. Hi, Dewey. Yeah, I have been out in the sun, so I do have a tan. Just not this week. This week has been kind of well, no, I did go paddleboarding on Monday, so I take that back. I did kind of force myself to get out there onto the water, even though it was hot. It was actually the lesser heat and humid day. That was probably the best day to do it. Hi, Maureen. Wait, what are you saying, Paula? Everything's going so fast. Heat makes me feel more trapped. Another huge trigger. Yes, I was feeling the same. It was like, I want to be outside. I want to do something. I have all this energy. And then it's just like, boom, you're hit with this like, this not just heat, but this thickness. And you're just like, okay, no, I'm going to go back inside now. Very, very hard to navigate, but we're gonna have some relief here soon, I feel like. So what did I write down for today? These are important words that really stuck with me very heavily, and it has to do with the energy that we're in right now. The Leo archetype and the Leo energy wants to have fun, wants to live now, be spontaneous. This is important. We really don't know. None of us do. We don't know how long we have in these bodies in this lifetime. So each and every day is a gift. And that's the hardest thing, is when you are recognizing like, yes, let me just get out there and play with life and see what it brings, that part of me. And then you're met with bees and heat, and like Pluto's like, first you've got to eat your peas before you can go out and play. That's like my childhood thing. I did not like peas, and I couldn't get up from the dinner table until I ate my peas. That's what Pluto's like. First, look at your stuff, and then you will be released from this heaviness. It was very dense. And I couldn't fully understand why. It was so bipolar. It was so polar opposite. Again, a lot of brightness, a lot of sunshine, a lot of excitement, a lot of inner child play, met with wah, 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 like the heaviness of like anger and depression and oppression and abandonment and betrayal wounds that came to the surface all over again. Hi, Darren. The heat makes the driver, oh gosh. And then, I didn't stay in my house, but the drivers on the road were, yes, aggressive, oppressive. Lisa says, I agree about the heat. Sorry about my camera bouncing. I had to get a new ring light, and the clamp thing that holds the phone on it is different than my old one, and it's kind of wobbly. So that's why I might be moving when I'm scrolling through the comments. But it is important to, sit back. If you're met with resistance, if your inner child, if your play and your joy gets met with like something that from your past, and we are moving away from this south node, Mars, our initiation, our drive, our will, our energy, our masculine within us, sitting on the south node, and it just was like exhaustion, or just not like, maybe you had a lot of restless energy in you, but like there was no mojo or motivation. So it was a good time to like get ideas, but I actually didn't even have the motivation to write them down. And I've had new opportunities like, here you go. We need we need you to rewrite something about yourself, and this is all opening up, and inside of me I'm just like crickets. Like, okay, thank you for the opportunity. Give me a couple days, because I'm in something now, and I'm not like seeing myself in the right light. Another thing I was dealing with this week, because I had a lot of people call them clients. I had new people coming to me, and all of this imposter syndrome, again, the inner child, like, I don't know what I'm doing. And for those of you who understand astrology, or know your chart, I do there's a bug here. I highly, highly, highly suggest Jeffrey Wolf Green's Pluto book to understand your natal Pluto placement. You will understand your soul's journey. And for me, having Pluto in my 12th house of my natal chart in the sign of Libra, that journey my soul signed up for is to first have all the experience, because it's early degrees, have all the experiences I had, but when I had my awakening is to have a full surrender, a full death of the old version of me, and any victim mentality and anything, and fully surrender to the spirit world, which took me many, many years to come to full surrender. And I do see some aspects of myself that still want to try to control things. And I'm met with like, don't you remember what journey you're on, Paige? Oh, good. Thank you, Darren, for that. Because these readings just kind of come out of nowhere. But sometimes I wonder, like, if I'm going through something, am I putting that energy out there? But I'm already hearing, no, actually, this is how we are all kind of connected and entangled. So when I'm like working with some energy or some of my own inner child stuff, and I'm not the only one. It just might be a little more intense at that time for me. Because I do mostly, I would say 99% of the time, okay, we're saying 95% of the time, I'm very expanded. My viewpoint of everyone and everything, including myself, gets so expanded, and that is because my natal chart has a stellium, which is 3 or more planets. I have 4 planets in one sign. I have Mercury, Venus, Neptune, and Jupiter all in the sign of Sagittarius, and Jupiter's the ruler of Sagittarius. Big picture thinker, big expansive viewpoints, and I've had that um, as a gift. That is definitely a gift of mine. But and I forgot about Mercury. Mercury now coming back to the planet from my expansive viewpoint. Mercury's also in Leo. Mercury, the sun, and the moon all hitting my natal moon and south node at the same time was just a mind trip. And Mercury in retrograde, my mind played tricks on me. I could not receive. All I could see was like this stuff that was coming up from the past. And I'm like, why again? I don't like this. But surrendering to it, understanding it, knowing why I was in this tight squeeze that I was in. Almost was like Pluto, like, stay here, just stay here for until you get it. Stay here and I'll let you loose. But you gotta see, you didn't finish your dinner. You didn't finish your peas on your plate. You can't go out to play until you clean your plate. And so I did. I did my shadow work. I did all of that. Maureen, this was a week from hell for me. There was so much breaking down on many physical levels, the car, relationship, etc. Hell is hot, they say. Oh, we do go through those breakdowns. Everything outside seems to break down too. And we have to surrender to that breakdown to have our breakthrough. Darren, I felt the same, but I'm able to see for what it is. Thank you. To see some of the patterns. Yeah. And I mean, really, that's the name of the game here, is like pattern recognition. So we can get to a place where we're sovereign, where we're free, that we can live, really live. We don't know how long we have in these bodies in this lifetime. We don't. Tomorrow could be my last day. What am I going to do today? And that was my mantra going through my spiritual awakening and really dissolving, thinking I could control anything, and really putting my energy and my time and my effort into, okay, how can I truly just live, be spontaneous? We are, what did I write? Okay. Back to the energy. These are all initiations for us to break into something new. But we've got to look at what actually has been keeping us from being joyful, happy, spontaneous, truthful, being authentic and real and truthful for ourselves. The only obstacles are the mind, our beliefs, our past, our fears. It's the mind. It is illusions. It is fictitious. Pure joy and innocence is our natural state of being. So when we can understand that, we can look at, well, if that's my natural state of being, where in my mind, what parts of me are keeping me from just having that full expression of life and joy? And I asked that question all week long because there was not anything, I didn't have anything outside of myself go wrong. I mean, aside from the bees re-nesting, but that was symbolic for me. I'm like, okay, nothing. But there was just this angst, there was this anger, there was this deep sadness, this deep loneliness. And again, no logical, rational reason in my current outside my mind's space, but it was all past stuff that's still in me, right? Alanis Morissette's songs, Thank You, keeps coming up for me. And songs, they are messengers. And especially when you wake up and it's in your head, or it's just always in your head. For me, and this one really woke me up to a part of me that shut down a lot of the serendipity and like to be able to actually play with life through the synchronicities and the serendipity. Don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling. So we've all had experiences. Oh, there's been an earthquake somewhere. We've all had experiences that brought us back to our true, innocent, inner child, joy, fun, pleasure, just live. And then, boom, something came and either it took it away, it went away, something happened. And so a lot of us, I don't know if it's everybody on the planet, but there's a lot of us. And if you're on my channel, most likely you'll resonate with what I'm saying. So I saw exactly where I shut it down because it just caused so much more pain. It poured salt into that abandonment wound, or that wound that was like, you're never going to fully experience or have this for very long. It's always going to go away. It's always going to be taken away. And so I had to really work with that part of myself. Like that's not true. Even though that may be the truth of the past, if I want to keep that alive, I can keep bringing that belief in my mind with me into my current experience and my future experiences. This is how we keep repeating patterns and cycles. So making a conscious choice to really sit with like, can I actually fully open myself up to this childlike wonderment and joy and pleasure, regardless of what's going on outside of me? Can I actually bring that part of me back into the present moment and say, like, let's no longer keep creating those scenarios. Those scenarios happened for probably a lot of specific reasons. If I look at it now, I'm like, well, that was a blessing in disguise. You know what I mean? We really do. Amy, there are glimpses of heaven in everyday life. Yes, 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 yes. And we are being cracked open, making space for more love, live lighter in every sense of the word. Yes, yes, yes. So true. So true. And so don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling, because I do really feel like there is something new for all of us. And most likely it is really already here. We're just blocking it with our disbelief, with our patterns of escapism, with our I'm not any different than anybody else. I'm speaking from experience. Like, why does this keep happening? And then after I go through the experiences, it's almost like I dive into these experiences completely blind, in the fog. And there is a reason why I haven't studied my birth chart in depth. I mean, I have, but I'm not following the transits alongside my birth chart, because that, well, first of all, I don't even have the bandwidth to do it. When there are energies that are calling me into experiencing them, I must dive in to the experience. And when I come back to the surface, then I go back and look and I'm like, whoa, I understand that now. I can see it in a whole different perspective, not from the perspective of being a victim to the past or the current situations, but I get this now. I understand. Hope I'm making sense. Paula, I want the magic back that I had years ago, just for me, not attached to another. Yes. And that's exactly it. That's exactly what came to me last night. And this huge burst of like my heart and the butterflies and all of that energy started flowing through me. And, Don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling, because it's something that's within us. It is not, yes, other people will activate that, will open that up for us, and we think it's the other person. But truly, this is the energy that's within us. So when I'm not feeling it fully, I will sit and ask, what is this? Why am I not? Why do I feel caged or boxed in? And this whole past week, I found myself, I had so much freedom this week. I make up my own schedule for the most part, for all the time. And I found myself in this matrix of my own making. Get up at a certain, well, I mean, I wake up when I wake up, but be at point A by a certain time so that you can be out by, it was very robotic. And I'm like, ugh, I don't like this. There's no spontaneity except for Monday. I was like, I'm going paddleboarding. Like that was probably the launch for my freedom. And then the energy pulled back and it was like, we're going to show you how you box yourself in a lot. Lisa, I like purity of information and then validation. I have been, oh my gosh, I've had so much confirmation and validation come to me this week on so many levels, and I wasn't able to receive it. I was in that numb space of just, okay, thank you. Like there was no, like, like electrical energy flowing through me, like what I feel like right now, with the exception of there were 3 times this week. One was when I was paddleboarding, which actually kind of wasn't fully there. 2 was 2 sessions that I had with people in person, and I was lit up by that. And I held that energy, a beautiful third energy with me, probably all the way until I got home. And then it was just like, boom, responsibility. I don't know. It was just so, it was interesting. So let's pull some cards. Where do we want to start? Okay, thank you. I will say, the readings I've been doing for others and even on YouTube, I definitely get pulled to the side. More than usual. And I keep checking myself, and then I'm like, no, it's okay. Get out of the way, Paige. These are important messages that come through. Amy, 555 and 111 in number sequence all over the place. Yeah, I've been having, at a very key moment on Tuesday, 333 popped up for me. Just fully should have kept my energy in an all-time high from the experience I was having throughout the week. And I'll tell you, those old patterns, this dark energy, the old wounds wouldn't let me hold it, wouldn't let me keep it. It's myself. It's all myself. It's my wounded child, inner child. So I have been doing a lot of work with her this week, consciously. Bringing her up to speed. Bringing her into the present. Okay. What message do you have for us all? They're really calling me to the mushroom oracle, mushroom spirit oracle. Let's pull one of those first. I don't use these cards very often, so I don't know why. But I will say, when my inner child comes out and wants an answer, and I pull a certain deck and it does not give my inner child the answer that she wants, I set them aside. And then the next day I apologize. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you for the messages. I love you. So all of my decks have been blessed after after my rage, which I think was Wednesday night. Now I don't even remember. This seems like it's been the longest week in the whole year. And we did have that day of timelessness yesterday, which was just like, I went to bed early. Maureen, 8:44, 8's over 48 hours, last Friday night to Sunday morning. Darren, I see 333 all the time, seeing 3333 earlier. I usually see it about 5 times a day, most days anyway. I don't like to tell people what the number sequences mean because they mean different things for each of us. And it's all about the timing. When you see it, where were your thoughts? What were you thinking? What were you doing? Where was your energy? It's either a pick-me-up, a boost, like, come on, it's gonna be okay. Or it's like confirmation, confirmation, confirmation. And there's so much more to it. Now we live in the age of technology. You can just look that up and see. Oh, Darren, I'm so sorry. Please forgive my past comments. I thank you for all of your help, and I love all of you. Oh, thank you for that, Darren. And I do understand that sacred rage runs deep, and I definitely am a cat. I know my life path has been, I've got Uranus in the first house. I'm a catalyst. And that's the number one reason why for a good chunk of my life, I'd stayed behind the scenes. I knew like people's reactions to me, they were either gonna love me or hate me for no good reason. And so I kept my mouth quiet for a good part of my life until the spirit world knocked on my door so hard and said, you've got some things to say. You've got some gifts to share. Don't be afraid. So thank you for, helping me not be afraid of the energy that I carry too. And there's just so much love that is just held here in this space for all of us going through all of the things, life. So we have, a perfect card. Shaggy ink cap, growth, destruction cycle. And I'm hearing similar to the death card. Look at that. Black and white. So I'm not the only one. Hello, KL. Hello to everybody who's popped on that I did not see. I feel like there's a nice welcoming committee here for anybody that's new. Let's see what this says in the book. And thank you, all the moderators out there. I appreciate you so much because it's that's definitely a special gift that you are giving to all of us. Each stage of your growth has different meanings and properties. Just like the shaggy ink cap, you go through many stages over and over again. Just like the earth has its season, every cycle has a purpose and needs to be worked with, not against. And at what stage of your evolutionary growth are you? Can you recognize if it's a growth or destructive cycle? The shaggy ink cap has both, and both are necessary. When you look at a destructive cycle within yourself, do you try to push it away because you think it is bad? Ooh, I like that because I was really shaming myself for my coping patterns while going through that process of letting my inner child and the rage of the past come up and all the patterns, allowing myself to just fall into all of the coping mechanisms that I used to have. And purposely, every morning I would wake up, I'm not going to shame you, but I am sorry, spirit world. I'm sorry. I'm just met with so much love each time I go through these ways. Yes, let yourself off the hook. That's right. That's right. Or do you try to learn from it because it is a necessary part of growing up or learning a lesson? Not everything is bad when it is destructive, and not everything that is growth is a good thing. When something grows or is destroyed, it must be a sustainable process, or there is no balance. What can you keep in check before it grows out of control? Like the ego. Leo, shadow side, can be big ego, pride, right? The key here is about finding balance within both the destructive and growth cycles. Remember that not everything destructive is bad, and not everything that grows is good, and vice versa. Everything has its place and purpose. Our job is to learn and grow from everything and everyone in our lives. What can you learn from this experience? A special card indeed, with many questions to ponder. Definitely. So get inquisitive, we go through destructive. I felt very destructive, and I was really glad that it was just me with me. My grandchildren are away a lot. Most of my family is like on vacation or away. And I just had this time to watch my own destructiveness internally and the patterns that arose from that. And it was just like, oh my God, here we go again. I thought I was done with that, right? But yeah, let ourselves off the hook. Oh, we got another, okay. Johannesburg. I was hoping Martin would be on. He moved back to Cape Town, South Africa. And I don't know what time zone that is, but we'll send love out to him too. We're all on a journey of some sort. Pine trees that need fire to open the seed pod. Oh, I like that. Without the fire, new trees couldn't grow. There's been a lot of fire going on. There's been a lot of fire going on in here, that's for sure. They are 6 hours ahead. Oh, good. Thank you, Amy. Thanks for letting me know. Maybe he'll pop on. I know I haven't been going live as regularly as I used to, and I just feel like again, I just go to the rhythm of the cycles that I get pulled into. Yep, we're all on a journey of some sort, that's for sure. But it's important to remember that even though we're on our individual journeys, we are all still I don't know why I said that, connected in this web that we all share. More so than we know. And I've been given more than glimpses of this on my journey to know, to recognize, to realize. And so that's humbling also. I don't want my shadow and my angry, destructive inner child, this is why we get that pause by Pluto, that sacred pause, to affect or to feed the collective hive mind, the collective field. Yeah. So whenever we're faced with Pluto being squared, challenged by another planet, we get pulled back. Wait a second. Wait a second here. You got something to clean up here. Stop sweeping stuff under the rug. We're going to pull the whole rug out from under you, I'm hearing. And you can see all the dirt that you missed. It's not fun, but when you consciously are aware of it, it's like, okay, thank you. Because I don't want to rush on into life with dirt under my rug. All right. Take the whole rug out. I'm hearing. And if any of you have had a chance to, now I see this early in the morning or just as the sun is going down. I live in the woods, in the forest with trees, and I can see all of the webs that the spiders leave from branch to branch, from tree to tree, and it's like this whole beautiful web that's glowing, multicolors. It's beautiful, but it also reminds me of like how we are all connected, even if like you're all the way on the other side of the world, but you're in the web. We're all in that web, and start weaving a brand new rug from scratch, says Amy. Yes, that's right. Throw out that dirty old rug. Okay. So, I'm not the only one that had a rough week. For me, it was just emotional. And none of the heavy duty emotions made any logical sense. Apathy is at an all-time high. That's interesting too. Yeah. It was just that with the heat and everything else. Like, think that all of these energies were really doing us a favor. Oh, the wheel, the emperor. A big favor. Apparently, there's a big shift. Something big is happening worldwide, and of course, it's going to affect us all. It's a very important. Ooh, the star at the bottom. Okay. Okay. So we're going to start with the star. 8 of emotions below that. And this is the energy of not just healing. It is the energy of, you see this light that is connecting her to her crown and third eye. This is like receiving the healing that is necessary to move on, to move into our new life. Some would call new earth, new state of consciousness, new state of being, which is actually not new. This is our true state of being. Going back to our natural state of being is made of love, joy, pleasure, happiness, not but they're saying not, how do we say that? Sorry, this is okay. Now we're going back to an experience that I had yesterday. And this will probably help put the words together. So it is important that we take care of ourselves, that we go through our healing, but recognize that we are all connected here. So not at the expense of somebody else's pain and suffering. Not that we're responsible for everybody else's pain and suffering, but to recognize that if you look at it like a team, humanity, a team, you're only as strong as your weakest link. So having that empathy, that compassion is important. I was in the grocery store yesterday, and I hate going to the grocery store because the prices just keep inflating. Everything's so expensive. I literally just bought cheese, and it cost me like way too much money for cheese. And in my head, I'm like calculating like how much would it cost, like my food ration, like how much can I afford? Like in my mind, I'm going in my survival mind, I'm calculating like how much longer can I afford food, right? Before I have to like again think of a new way of like stretching food and making it, because it's just ungodly, it's ridiculous. Now this is an old mindset also, because I also know that a lot more income has been coming in as I'm surrendering to the spiritual path that I'm on. But that's an old mindset. It's my parents' mindset. It's my grandparents' mindset. It's poverty consciousness. I get it. I know. But I was met with a man outside of the grocery store. He was young. He was like my son's age. And he looked me dead in the eyes and he's like, "Do you have a couple bucks?" And I didn't. I didn't have any money on me. Like, who carries cash anymore, right? I just said, "I'm sorry, I don't. If I did, I would give it to you," because I could see the look in his eye, like he was feeling shameful for even having to ask me that. Hi, Jess. And it broke my heart. It also broke that mentality that was like spinning around in my head while I was going through the grocery store. And I started to like pull it back into like, wow, I actually am abundant. I actually am grateful that I don't have to sit outside of the grocery store and ask people for money. There was no judgment at all. And if I did have any money on me, I would have given him some of it. But that's the image. I forgot about that actually. That's the image that they just put into my brain here. This is where we are moving to. Humanity, all of us. Wait, what's going on here? Oh, Dustin, you got to go to work. Have a good day at work. Okay. Oh, thank you for popping in, Jess. Hi and love to you as well. Helping with your gram today. Oh, see? And we know where we're needed. And it's important that if we do have something to give, whether it be time, energy, money, it's all the same thing. Empathy, compassion, words of kindness, a smile, and if we don't have anything to give on those days, to forgive ourselves for that too, because we're not always in an energetic space where we can give. But I know each and every one of us at a soul level would like to get there, where life doesn't knock us down so much that we aren't able to radiate love and compassion and empathy and any other kind of energetic support that we have out there. Like even if a smile can go so far, exactly, it can go far. It really does. It makes a huge difference in ways we don't even know. Um, Darren says, I also know where I should be. So even though I felt bad that I didn't have anything to give this guy, I gave him my time. I looked him in the eyes. I put my hands on my heart. I smiled and I said, I wish that I had something to give you. I truly, truly do. And I think that helped him a little bit because we can only give what we have to give, truly. Like last week, I would not have been able to even go live. There's certain times where energy is just like, you've got to work on this for yourself. And we do kind of go into that bubble of being with ourselves or being with our stuff. And that's okay. But when we get stuck there, that's the problem. And that's what the wheel is saying. Like we're kind of, the wheel is turning and it's kind of like, it's like pulling us out of where we may have been stuck. Might have been stuck on a moon cycle, might have been stuck in a Chiron lesson, might have been stuck in who knows what, something that Pluto's like, you missed this step and I'm not letting you go out and play until you finish your dinner. Clean it up. Clean it up, and then you can go ahead and play. It's all me with me, you with you, and with life. It's all pasts, it's all stuff from the past. And if anybody like still, because this is another thing that's coming up, is still like fixated or watching the news, stop it. Stop it. Don't feed into that. That's another trap. Including social media too. It just dawned on me. I did a reading. I had a session with a young man last week, and he was my son's age, like early 30s. And he's so stuck on the news that he has it on his phone and he has headphones on and he just listens to it all day long. And I'm like, you are way too young to actually be falling for getting pulled into this. Live your life. Free yourself. Go start living. Truly. And he's like, so I should stop watching the news? I'm like, give yourself a break. Take a week off and see what happens. Seriously. Paula, I think my inner child is all gived out. I find myself very snappy and getting angry at people asking me for anything. This is so not me. So I get that. I understand that too. And that's sort of where I found myself being a couple weeks ago. And that's another pattern. Ask yourself, why do you give? Why do we give? So we should be giving from the heart, giving because we have something to give. So the pattern recognition, because then our inner child gets angry. It's like, stop giving. Stop that pattern of, I have to give because I'm supposed to. I have to give because it's the right thing to do. These are all things that were embedded in the mind of a young child. I have to give because if I don't, they'll be mad. I don't want to disappoint anybody. I don't want to let anybody down. I don't want to hurt anybody, right? But what are you doing to yourself? Building up more and more anger and resentment, right? Yes. So anytime you're met with that resistance, it's not because we all are givers and love and compassion. It's just our inner children are like, halt, wait, stop. Why are you doing what you're doing? Why are you saying yes when internally, inside it's saying no? And why is there a no? That no is just a pause. Hold on. What's the real lesson here? What's the real reason? Because these are patterns that we are meant to break. Let's see here. Darren, you should stop watching readings. You know, there are times that can be an addiction. We are all addicts, by the way. We are all addicts to something because we're in this world and we feel like we've been just dropped out to fend for ourselves. So we have attachments, we have things we cling to, things that make us feel better or make us feel less alone, things that help us self-soothe. And there are times where, especially if a reading, here's a good thing. You always want to go with resonance, right? In readings. And even the spiritual realms will test you on, are you being great? Next card, Emperor. Are you in charge of your life and the direction? Or are you giving your power away to someone else? Because when I do readings for someone, I get into their energy field. I am them and they are me. This is one-on-one. Collective readings different. That's completely different. But to help the other person see themselves, to help the other person connect with themselves at a deeper level. So it depends. Depends on the reader, depends on a lot there. A lot of us are here to help with the verbal confirmation and energetic confirmation of things that you already know deep within, but there's parts that argue with each other inside, internally. You're not sure if you should watch them or not. If you're not sure, always go by how you feel. Always go by how you feel. And also ask yourself, why am I being pulled? Why am I being pulled? It's like a lure. It's like a fishing lure, right? Why am I being pulled into listening to a reading? Sometimes there's some important information there that you just needed the confirmation. Click. Thank you. Thank you for confirming me to me. But other times it's to test you. Do you know yourself? Are you giving your power away to somebody else? So it's important, the Emperor, that we're always in the driver's seat. But sometimes we don't feel like it. Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes you feel such a strong energy and a strong energy pool, and you're like, what is this? It's helpful. Like I get those, I get those a lot, and I'm just turn on the camera, okay, and let spirit flow through. If it reaches you, it reaches you. Desperate to see a better world, constantly giving my energy to helping that cause. Oh yeah. Yes, I know so many people, and you know, we do need the activist archetype, boots on the ground. But again, if you're just giving all of yourself to a cause and you're not giving to yourself, and I know so many people that do this, you become burnt out and angry and frustrated and resentful, right? So it's always check in with self. Why am I doing what I'm doing? Always. You know what I mean? Thank you. Because this is, and I've been hearing this a lot, and I'm actually tired myself of saying it, but this is still the bridge between our old self and our new self in the material world. We are seeing physical changes happening in our world, in our own lives too. Do we want to go here? Okay, we're going to get a couple clarifiers and then go to the big guns, because they do have something to say here for all of us. And not to get trapped in the, like, I've got to fix this, I've got to heal that. It's live your life. Recognize the patterns. Recognize, why am I doing what I'm doing? Really ask yourself. Always check in. Check in with yourself on a daily, because these energy waves are like, they're up here and they're down there. It's like switchbacks up and down the mountain. You never know where you're going to be. You might be at the top of the mountain one day, and all of a sudden the switchback took you way down into a valley, and you're like, where am I now? In the weeds. This is crazy. It is a wild ride energetically, which is why astrology is such a helpful tool. But then you've got so many astrologers out there, and everybody has their own method of reading into the energy astrologically. For me, I wouldn't even call myself an astrologer. I just have the experiences, and I go back and reflect on like, oh, that makes sense. I understand this dynamic now. So anyway, tell us more about the wheel. Four of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, good. Just kind of confirming. Yeah. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah. So, we've all gone through our own breakdown to breakthrough moments this week in our own way. Okay. What this energy is really doing is it's getting us out of a place of holding on too tight, holding on for dear life to what we've known, what's always been the way it's been. Could be holding on to things because like I only have so much money. I only have so many belongings. I'm going to hold on to what I have, and it's lack mentality. This came up in reverse. The wheel is pushing a stuck, they're showing me like a stone that got stuck in the spokes, and all of a sudden it moved faster and the stone popped out. That's sort of us in this wheel. It's like popping out of a stuck place. Important to be the leader of your life. Be in charge of the decisions and choices that you make. Be in the driver's seat of our lives. Confirming this, 8 of Cups in the Tower. The lightning has struck. The lightning has struck the old foundation, the old way. It's burning down. Oh, I'm hearing burning down the house. It's the past, or this is what maybe many were clinging to. But again, Uranus energy comes in, makes the changes for us that we're not able to make ourselves, finally freeing us to walk away from emotional attachments, emotional patterns, emotional habitual addictions, even things that kept us stuck, things that kept us, what we thought was safe and familiar is no longer in operation, at least the way that we thought it was. It is like breaking out of an illusion, and it opens us up to this new space, this new world, this new way of being on the bridge. And as we walk on that bridge, there's so much knowledge and wisdom that's held deeply within our bones, our cells, in our body. What I'm also picking up here with this Page of Swords, with the wind and the birds, there's a lot of messages and messengers surrounding each and every one of us, validating and confirming us along the way of our journey. You are safe. You are loved. This is you. You set the tower up at the perfect time on your path so that you could free yourself, so that you could be liberated, and so that you could understand your journey and yourself. Overall, the star upright with the King of Wands in reverse, we are healing all that has kept us from being that King of Wands upright, that lion, strong, powerful, determined, passionate, fire. You know, when Mars moves, Mars moving away from the South Node, that's been a really tough transit to navigate, because there has been a lot of fire lit within, but then it like fizzles out. It's almost like a car that you're trying to start and it won't start, and you get it to start and then it putters back out. Amy, yes. Are we feeling our feelings or aiming our wounds? That's a good question to ask. And I will tell you, I thought I was well versed in this dimension and then this journey of within myself and life, but the intensity of the energy for me caught me off guard, and it caught me in a space of like I knew how do I even, it's hard to put to words, but like I was like, all right, I know what I'm doing, but I have all this angst inside and suddenly have all of these wounds that have reopened, and then I on top of it have imposter syndrome and all of these other things, and I don't have the energy, but I have all these opportunities, and it was just like this push pull weird dynamic, and my inner child, my coping mechanisms were like, no, I'm gonna go play. No, I am not doing this again, universe. No. And then it got really angry. Like, why? What is this? So I didn't even like that took over me. And then I come out of it, but I didn't fully come out of it to recognize, oh my God, that was Pluto squaring Chiron. That was like all of the things. And understanding that it wasn't just me going, because you feel so alone when you're going through these hard squeezes, when we get pulled back into old stuff. And it seems like time is flying by and everybody else is out there just having fun, going about there. Like that FOMO kept coming up for me. Oh, big time FOMO for my inner child. And then she got mad. She's like, I want to join in on the fun. You go outside, it's like 100 degrees out. Like, no. It was an interesting journey, for sure, past week. All right, one last message, and we will wrap this up. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Nope, that's right. Yep. It's all good. I feel lighter. I feel better. I feel I can breathe. I haven't gone outside. Well, I did go out. I actually have to go let the dogs out after this. Haven't been outside for more than a couple minutes this morning. No, it's okay. There we go. There we go. Okay, what's on the bottom? Oh. This is just confirmation for everything that I just said, because I guess I still need validation too. We got escapism with ancestral patterns. And at the bottom we have the runner, the avoidant. So we all have, oh, and look what we have below that, addiction. Divine intervention below that. Oh, I love you guys. Divine intervention below that. Some people may be dealing with gossip. Some people dealing with codependency issues. It's different for everyone. But what part of you, we all have these parts that want to run away, that want to avoid the hard stuff. We have our own tendencies of escapism. Sometimes this can be so unconscious. I feel like it was very conscious this time. Okay, it was very conscious this time for most of us. Or we recognize, what am I doing? What am I doing again? I'm not even enjoying this. This isn't giving me that dopamine rush, or that whatever it is that it used to give me. And that's because we're clearing ancestral patterns or karma. So facing ourselves, not escaping, because there's something really beautiful at the end of this, the sun. Beautiful. On the other side of running from ourselves, we have the sun, the innocence, the vitality, the joy, pure joy that comes from connecting to life. Again, we don't know how long we have in these bodies in this lifetime. How do you want to spend your time today? How do you want to spend your time right now? I'm so glad that I'm spending it with all of you. Amy, I ask myself that at least once a day. What am I doing? I know. What am I doing? I know. It's crazy. It's like so easily get pulled into this unconscious, just like we're getting there. Practicing presence. Just catching yourself and making a conscious choice. You know what? I don't want to do this. Let me find a better way. There's a better way. There's something knocking at my door that wants my attention. Let me go in and ask, what is this? Why am I not feeling joy today? Why am I feeling angst? Why am I feeling hurt? Why am I feeling angry? Whatever. Ask yourself. Yourself will show you, will tell you. Oh, thank you all for being here. Thank you, Maureen. I'm glad I paid attention today. Thank you. Thank you all for being here. It's so good to spend time with you guys and share energy and just share our experiences with each other. We're not alone in this, even though our inner children, when we're going through, it's like, I'm the only one. I'm great. What's wrong with me? All of those things. It's not true. It is not true at all. We are all in this together. So much love to you all. I wish that we could just have a big reunion in person. Maybe one day the universe will help me orchestrate that somehow. Help us orchestrate that somehow. But for now, we have technology, and it's a beautiful thing that we can connect this way. So yes, and the fresh air is coming, Paula, for sure. Have a beautiful rest of your day, night, wherever you are in the world. Thank you for being here. Thank you for participating, communicating with one another. And let's just keep supporting each other through these waves. We all know 2025 is not going to be an easy one, but it is powerfully transformative. And if you reflect back on yourself, even a year ago, 5 years ago, you're going to see all of your growth. So don't get stuck in this little bubble of like, I'm back again in old patterns. No, that's not how life is. Not linear. It is a spiral of time. Do yourself a favor and really check in with an old version of yourself through photos or through memories, and you'll realize like, oh yeah, I have definitely grown and expanded. So much love to you guys. Take care. Bye.